hello! Let's talk about first impressions, shall we? Just to get right into it. Hi everybody, welcome back to another riveting episode of Coffee Chit Chats with Cass. We have three very special guests today. Let's meet them here. These are all different variations of iced coffee from places in LA. In our first chair here, we've got Pete's. We also have Alfred's. And then our third and final contestant here is, you can't see because it's too dark, but that is the coffee bean and tea leaf. Ooh, so exciting. So here's the deal. I had a plan. I'm gonna chug all these coffees and then try to take a nap. Not really, but what I want to do is I want to talk about first impressions, and what better way to do that than trying all three of these coffees for the first time. Also, I have here my reusable Pioneer Woman straws, which I will link in the description below if you were looking for an affordable reusable straw that's also kind of cute. Because look, they're like pinstripey, like little candy canes, and I have other ones that are green too. So that's what we're going to be doing today. This is not the setup I wanted, but I wanted to have a table so that you could see which one's which, but I'll just go ahead and tell you. So let's just put these puppies away for now. So first up, what do we want to do? Let's go for Pete's. For Pete's sake. Okay, bad jokes time over. So, all right, here we go. It's okay. It's kind of more on the burnt side, I will say. So definitely not my favorite, but it's not terrible. It's just a little bit bolder of a flavor than I would typically go for in an iced coffee. Also, I realized that I'm drinking these black, and so the flavor is going to be a little bit more intense, but keep in mind that I didn't want to alter the flavor in any sort of way. I wanted this to be like solely based on the coffee, not, you know, well, it tastes better with creamer. Like, I just wanted to try it as is. So that's this. And yeah, so I asked on, actually, I didn't include Twitter. Sorry, Twitter, for leaving you out of this one, but I asked on my Facebook and Instagram what some people's first impressions were of me. And so a little bit of a story time, I guess. I was really hoping for someone to say, you know, I hated you at first, but then I thought you were really funny or something like that, but nobody really said that. It was more so like things people thought when they first saw me, not so much like their impression, but that's okay because we're still just gonna go through them. So I have here some first impressions of me, so I'll go ahead and share that while we enjoy this here Pete's coffee. It's alright. It's growing on me a little bit. See, first impressions are not always right. But, so, my friend Kelsey says her first impression of me was roast beef sandwich, to which I said that's not an impression. And what Kelsey is referencing, Kelsey is also the friend of mine, hi Kelsey if you're watching this, who was the original owner of my cat, and the friend of mine who I was, you know, showing pictures on my cell phone in middle school. When she saw that was her cat. So what she's talking about is when we were on said field trip in which I was showing her pictures on my phone, I had just gotten my top braces, I think. Yeah, because I was in 8th grade. So I had just gotten braces. Fun fact, for the second time in my life. But so I got them on, and my teeth were very sensitive and they hurt like a brother pucker. So I, instead of being able to eat this roast beef sandwich my mom had so graciously packed me, I was having to mash it down into my lower teeth and then kind of like gum it down to get it and be able to eat it. So that's the roast beef story that she's talking about. Nothing gross like you guys are probably thinking, so that's that little story time. Let's see what else we got here. Someone else said, cute little girl with pretty curls. I'm assuming this is someone who met me when I was a child because I am still technically little in stature. I'm actually about 5'1", maybe. I need to get measured again because I feel like I'm somewhere between like 5 feet and 5'1", but I can't remember. So that's, you know, that's where I just stopped, was at that height. And my hair is still curly. I know you can't really tell because I usually have it in a bun on the top of my head, but yes, my hair is naturally curly. So this video is also just gonna be full of fun facts for everybody. So you're welcome. Let's see here. Ashley, my old roommate. Hi, babe. How are you? I miss you. And hope you're not losing your mind planning your wedding. She said, way back when. Okay, funny, cute, a little weird. Definitely true. Sassy and awesome. You're that and more these days. Thank you so much. I love you. I miss you guys so terribly much. It literally pains me. So thank you for saying that. I appreciate it. All right. Let's switch it up here. I think, I've had enough of Pete and his coffee. All right. Next up. All right, Alfred, you're up. This says, I didn't even realize, this says, what's something you've always wanted to try? I don't know if this is like a thing that they do, is just put interesting questions as like conversation starters, because, sometimes when people go on first dates, they'll go get coffee. But something I've always wanted to try, actually, I just, did a whole video on this of my list of 20 things. So you guys will know some of them. Maybe something else. What can I think of? What's something I've always wanted to try? I mean, I don't know if this counts as like something I've always wanted to try. I've wanted to go to vacation in Florida since I was in college, and I just never went. So maybe, I don't know, maybe visiting Florida, does that count? Or is this like, when I think of something you want to try, I think more like to do like an activity, not so much like traveling, but like, climbing a wall, or, like sushi if you haven't had it before. So yeah, that's something, anyway. But this is from Alfred. It's a coffee place. I went to the one in Studio City because it was the closest to where I was at the time. But yeah, I have heard about this place. They have, the antlers are their logo with like an A. I've lived here for 4 years and I have never been here. So Alfred's Coffee, have wanted to try you. Another place that I've wanted to try, just to go on a complete tangent, is Yeasty Boys Bagels. It's another LA local type thing that I've never done. So put that on the list of things to try. So cheers, everyone. It's pretty good. Is it worth $4? Probably not, but that's what I paid for it. So yeah, I mean, this one's all right. It's definitely better than Pete's, I would say, but it's a little pricier. So I don't know how I feel about that. I'm just gonna keep drinking it. So this one's pretty good. Yeah, it's good. Do not take this the wrong way. This does not mean that I'm shopping around and going to leave Dunkin'. Okay, it is still my OG forever and ever, amen. Glad we got all that out of the way. So one of my cousins, hi Lindsay, if you're watching this, said, wow, I just love her. She looks like me. Weird. And we do actually, weirdly enough, look alike, even though we're like not close cousins. I don't mean, in terms of like we don't know anything about each other, but just like for whatever reason, we both like have a very similar complexion. Our hair color naturally is the same, even though my hair is like dark 99% of the time. But that's just a personal preference. So yeah, hey, hope to come visit you guys soon because I haven't been in a long time. My friend Cody, hi Cody, says EPP, which is a Jenna Marbles / inside joke reference if you get it. You're welcome. Someone else said smart and sassy. So yeah, I mean, I guess I'm pretty smart, like other than the obvious basic math lacking skills. Sometimes I feel like I'm pretty intelligent. I mean, I got into a private school, so if that means anything, then there you go. My dear friend, whose wedding I went to last year, and former manager, I suppose, Carlos, says, why won't she shut up when I spank her? What's happening, Big Daddy? So another fun little story, I guess, that can kind of go along with this. So Carlos and I used to work together at Sonic Drive-In, amongst other friends of mine. And so there was actually one time that this girl, I don't know if I've told this story in any of these videos, but this girl was new in town. She, you know, just started working there. I think she was like dating a cop or something, or like was married to one. So she was just kind of, you know, like working to like pass her free time while her husband was at work. So she like took her job really seriously, and not that we didn't, but just like we were all friends, so we would all like mess around. And so she got so mad that we would all, you know, like spank each other with like towels that were like spun up and whatever, or like just make jokes at each other, that she ratted us out to my boss, and all of us had to have a sexual harassment training at work. And like, not that we were, you know, like making light of something like that. Like we were all, you know, like joking with each other. Like we never touched her. Like no one ever so much as like said anything negative to her. It was like all amongst ourselves. So the fact that she was like so upset that we were enjoying ourselves, we're like, girl, like you're just mad because you're not in on the fun, you know, like, and even if like, I don't know, she's just not having it. So fun fact, that's how at one point in time I was given sexual harassment training on Sonic Drive-In. So that's the tea, sis. And I hope you enjoy it. Let's see here. Another cousin of mine said she was excited to play with the baby, which was me. Hello. I'm an adult now, but we could still play, you know, Cards Against Humanity or something now that I am Phil Ground. So that's a thing. Let's see. Annalise, hello. Hi, beautiful mama. Said you were wearing a tube top maxi and super sweet. I instantly loved you. Oh, I thank you. I instantly loved you because I had heard so much about you and was glad to finally meet the person that I had been hearing all of these stories about. And you are everything and more, sweetheart. And I hope you're doing well. Let's see. My aunt says that you were the cutest baby ever. I mean, I can neither confirm nor deny, but I think we all know. Let's see. And then my ma says she's smart and beautiful as you grabbed the doctor's pen when she pulled you out. My doctor was a she who delivered me? Oh my goodness, I had no idea. I was so happy you weren't a boy. I felt bad wanting a girl so badly, thinking my entire pregnancy you were a boy. That's a whole story in and of itself, I guess. Well, not really a story, but long story short, my mom thought that I was a boy. It was probably just some like weird joke that I was playing on her, and so surprise, it wasn't. It's me. Hey. Although I do feel like I have more of like a masculine energy than feminine energy sometimes. Like it's like a whole thing that I could talk about, but I tend to pull more, you know, what people would traditionally think is masculine than like hyper feminine, but it's okay to be either or. So that's my cute little PSA. So let's switch coffees and switch over to Instagram, and then we'll be out of here because I think I've talked enough in this 15-minute so far video. All right, welcome Instagram. Let's see what you, oh, that's not bad. That so caught me by surprise. Coffee Bean caught me completely off guard. I was not expecting to enjoy this so much. Like, I mean, you saw, I was just casually sipping away, and then like, oh man, this is actually really good. Now I know why Crystalia likes it so much. Jeez Louise. All right. So this is going to be quick. We got our last two here, and then we out. So, let's do Miranda. Hey girl, how you doing? So my friend Miranda, if you don't follow her on Instagram, is pbandhoney_. P is in peanut butter, B is in, oh wait, no. Let's see, Miranda, hey boo thing, says your weird sense of humor goes so well with mine. Miss you too. And yeah, that's, you know, usually it sort of depends on the context of when someone is meeting me to like what their impression is of me. You know, like I've had bosses in the past who are like, oh, like you don't really like show any emotion. It's really hard to read you. And it's like, I'm one of those people that just kind of like assesses the situation and then, you know, figures out where I fit in. And actually, when I got trapped at the Scientology Center one time for their personality test, they told me that that is going to hinder me in working in the entertainment industry because you have to be who you are straight out, and you can't, you know, wait and then show people because then they're going to get bored and replace yours. Something to that effect. So thank you for saying that. I appreciate when people appreciate my sense of humor, so thank you. And then lastly, we're going to end on the highest of notes, and probably one of my favorite people who said anything, or well, and lastly, we're going to end on a very high note with one of my favorite people who responded to this. That is my old roommate, Carrie, who I love with all my heart and miss so much that, you know, it affects me. It hits me right in the feels, and it's not very easy to do that. But fun fact also, but fun story just to throw in here. Sometimes when I eat breakfast, I think about when Carrie and I used to have breakfast together in the mornings before she would go to work, and then I would just kind of lounge around all day, which is, you know, what I do now. But yeah, so I miss you too. Let's see. Cute as a button, and then you open your mouth and I was terrified. Love you. And that is, you know, basically the epitome of me. You know, you can think what you want about me, but apparently I'm cute, everyone. So this is news to me. So yeah, those are my, you know, first impressions and a list of first impressions for me. I hope you guys enjoyed this kind of video. Let's get a little sippy sip in here. Oh man, this is, oh well, I guess, okay, so let's do a final verdict here. So I feel that this, you know, the coffee bean, while it probably tastes the best, is, you know, it's somewhere in between. So the Alfred's coffee, I feel, was pretty light in terms of like the roast and taste of the coffee. And then I would say in terms of depth, it goes Alfred's, coffee bean, and then Pete's is probably the darkest in terms of like, or deepest, I guess, in terms of flavor. But for me personally, I feel like I surprisingly really enjoy the coffee bean probably the most. If I had to pick one to get, because there was not a Dunkin' nearby, I would get coffee bean for sure. Alfred's, it's like, you know, it's a little out of the way. It's more expensive, but you know, it's a more local type of deal, so I get it. And then Pete's, I don't know, I just wasn't that impressed. To me, it tastes kind of like on the caliber of Starbucks-y. It's not so burnt that it's like needs something else to it, but it's definitely, you know, the deepest of them all. So that's my final verdict. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I had this idea, not with these specific coffees, but sort of along the same lines of like trying different coffees from different places. If you guys would be interested in seeing a fast food version, you know, like Carl's Jr., Taco Bell, McDonald's has coffee, like I would love to do that. I think it's cool to just kind of, you know, sit down and try a bunch of different coffees. Trust me, these are not going to go to waste. Like I will drink all of these. Not today, but you know, I do save them instead of, you know, just taking 2 sips and then tossing it. So I'll be having these over the next couple days. But yeah, if you guys would like to see a part 2 of other places, please let me know and I will do that. This is sort of like the assumptions tag, but not really. It's more so like, you know, what your first impression was, and then that can change obviously over time, whereas like an assumption is like something you are still hanging on to. So, you know, that's my spiel, I guess, on all of this. So yeah, let me know what people usually have a first impression of you, or if you had a different first impression of me and now you feel a different type of way. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this video was interesting. I feel like I talked way too much, but yeah, I appreciate you. Thank you for coming back, and let me know what places I should try next. And I will see you guys next weekend. All right, and I'm so much more hyped than when this started because I want so much more coffee. Okay, bye.